Welcome to the video. I am DeanoGTO, and today we're going to be talking about the frontline game mode in World of Tanks. So, as you can probably see on the screen there, I am Prestige 6, Level 1. That is actually the maximum level you can reach in Stage 4 of the frontline game mode for this year. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. I guess you could call it Episode 4, but I think Stage 4 sounds like a better description for it, in my mind at least, because I think there's going to be 10 stages this year in which you have like a chance to do this year, if I recall correctly. I might be wrong on that, but I think it's going to be a total of like 10 episodes slash stages that you have time to actually like grind up this year mode, because I'm pretty sure like January and December each year is going to be like a skip, because well, Christmas events and things like that that are going to be taking place, and also New Year. People are usually recovering for like a month from like hangovers, so it can't make sense to have it only run from like February to like November. So that's my assumption with it, at least the way it works. That's my assumption with how it works. So you might be noticing there that I'm only like level 1 in Prestige 6, and the reason why I'm only level 1 in Prestige 6 is because I assumed the way the game would work it is, if you're Prestige 6, I imagined it would let you level up while you're Prestige 6. But no, if you get to Prestige 6 and you prestige to the maximum prestige you're allowed to, it doesn't let you level up at that maximum current prestige. It stops you at like level 1. And I really wish I hadn't leveled up to Prestige 6 now, because I was going to use this mode to grind a bunch of credits. But now I don't really want to play it and like ruin other people's games, because I'm going to be driving vehicles which are not going to be at their full capabilities. And the reason for that is I only have access to one combat reserve point, and I stuck it into engineering, and it's not possible for me to get any more. So I can't get like the full 15 like combat reserve points. Like, I don't mind playing it whenever I'm grinding up more points, but if I know I can't level up any further because I tried it, then I'm not going to jump into a game and like potentially like cost other people a win, because I'm going to take ages to cap in a light tank if I try to cap. So I just don't feel like it's really worth it for me to like jump in and potentially like cost people games because I'm not able to cap at the normal rate that I'm used to. Because seriously, like, the difference between engineering being off and engineering being on is crazy. Engineering is such a useful ability. It's my favourite ability out of all of these here by far, because I'm impatient and I like to resupply and get repaired quickly. I also love how quickly it caps, and also how well it's able to just like, deny people capping. It works so nicely. It's easily my favorite of these combat reserves. Then artillery, then the smoke. Just the way I set it up, like, that's just like the perfect combination for me. But because I've gotten to Prestige 6, I'm only one prestige point away from getting the emil 1951, which means whenever the next episode slash stage of Frontlines comes around, I will be able to get the emil 1951, which I'm really looking forward to, because this thing seems like it fixes my main issue with the emil 1, the normal tier rate. And that's the just like for the forward speed, just the general like mobility of the emil 1 annoys the crap out of me, because it only has like it barely has like in fact no, it has a less than 13 horsepower per ton ratio. It feels so slow, but this thing here has an over 15 horsepower per ton ratio. Yes, the top speed's lower, but it may actually be able to reach its top speed, which is something the emil 1 pretty much can't do. So I really am looking forward to getting one of these and seeing what it's like, because I feel like this vehicle is probably going to be, like, I don't know if this is the case or not, but it is definitely a premium vehicle, as you can see here. It earned more credits per battle. But I would imagine this premium is going to be unique to Frontlines, at least for a while. I don't know if it's going to be permanently unique. I would assume probably not, because only the tier 9 is described as a unique tier 9 vehicle. It's not considered like to be like a unique tier 8 vehicle, if you see what I mean. So I assume they'd eventually sell this thing normally, but I imagine it's going to be exclusive to people in Frontlines for a while, at least, just for as a reward for people who have been playing the mode and trying to do as much as possible in it. So it's going to be interesting next month to see if I can get one of these here and see what it's going to be like. So I'm looking forward to that. But one thing I'm just going to warn you about here, just when it comes to the frontline mode, just when it comes to like how long it takes to grind. I literally spent like all of my time this week grinding this mode, and I got 2 prestiges done. If you have any intention of getting to prestige 10 before the end of this year, you would probably want to start grinding sooner rather than later, because it's going to be difficult to really do that entire grind if you're starting from 0 prestige. I'm just going to be straight with you, like it's going to be a hard, long grind to do, because you start from 0 prestige, and I think it's prestige 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up to 10. So you need to be aware of that there. Don't be like jumping into this here like head first, like, and not expecting like how long the grind's going to be, because it took me literally the entirety of my time playing the game for like the last week to get up to prestige 6. I started from prestige 4 level 2 and got to prestige 6 level 1. So pretty much I got exactly 2 prestiges in levels just over the course of this week. It is a really time consuming process, but I'll be able to let you know hopefully like from next month, like while the emil 1951 is worth getting in its current form. So I'm looking forward to that there. I can't wait to actually get driving this thing. I'm going to work on getting my Swedish heavy tank line like up a couple tiers, because I really don't like the tier rate, and I want to see. Well, I said I don't like the tier rate. I don't mind the gun. I actually kind of like the gun to an extent, but I just don't like how slow the tank feels. I just don't like the way it handles overall. But you can also see here, that's just my selection of vehicles for the frontline game mode. Like, those are the main vehicles that I used. I've also used the Carnarvon Action X and the T26E5 Patriot every now and then, just as like rate of fire heavy tanks, effectively, as just sort of like substitutes for the MX M449. And I would honestly say, if you're looking to go for like an equivalent to the M449, probably the closest you're going to get is, depending on whether you want the mobility or the gun depression, is something like a T32 or Carnarvon, or maybe something like an IS-3, because the M449 is a relatively unique vehicle in the game. Like, there's not really another tier rate that has exactly the same playstyle as it, so it's hard to really like give it an exact vehicle that really lines up with this playstyle. Whereas the Brigido, literally like the Pantera, is pretty much like a perfect substitute for that. The Centurions, well, Centurion Mark 1 pretty much is a perfect substitute for those. The EBR-75 and the Lynx. The Lynx is going to be a keeper for me. This tank was spectacular for the Frontlines mode. I loved this thing in the Frontlines mode, and I was right to go for this thing in between Frontlines, in between Frontlines seasons. What was I calling, stages? Yeah, I'm glad I went for this thing. This thing's spectacular in this mode, and it's awesome. It's so much fun to drive. This thing is just a blast to play. Honestly, I would say you should probably get one just because it's fun. And just in the course of this month's frontline game mode, I went from being, I think, 70,000 XP or 80,000 XP into this thing's grind. And I completed the entire grind in this tank in the course of one Frontlines episode. Granted, I did 2 prestiges, but that's a crazy amount of XP that I got on this tank, because I was using it a lot in the mode, and apparently you just get an absolute just ton of XP when you're playing a vehicle like this one that can do consistently well in this mode. And yeah, that's like the result of that. Like, I'm 1,000 XP away from the EBR-90, which is going to be an interesting one. I'm definitely going to keep this thing in my garage. This crew here from the EBR-75 is going straight into the Lynx after I've moved this crew into the EBR-90, and then the EBR-90 crew is going to be put into the EBR-75. That way I can continue using both vehicles in the frontline mode. I've already thought about that just to make sure I can continue using both of them. And then the LT-432, it's good for resetting caps and getting caps on in general. And also when it comes to light tanks, actually surprisingly accurate gun. Like, light tanks usually have really god-awful guns, but that one's actually got a pretty solid one. And this thing here is pretty much my like jack of all trades. It's just a fun vehicle to play. I love armor, so I really like this thing. I prefer it over the T44-100 overall. I find this thing more fun to drive because I love the armor of this thing and just how survivable it is. Some people may not like the slow speed, but I honestly like this thing more than the T44-100. Although I will have to play it a little bit more in standard battles before I can make a full like standard battles assessment of it. But in Frontlines mode, it works relatively well for me. It's a pretty solid tank overall. And yeah, of course, like this, the closest equivalent to this thing is something probably like an IS-3 or like a T-44, as you probably expect. So yeah. So that was just my general like summary of like the Frontline game mode. I don't think there was anything I really forgot about there, but hopefully this video is not too long. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section below, and actually let me know how far you guys have gotten in the current like Frontline mode season, because I'm really wondering like how many people are actually actively going for like the maximum prestiges, because I don't think like part of me feels like there aren't that many people who are actually actively doing it. I feel like a lot of people are probably just doing it for the credits, which is understandable because, well, look at this. I'm on nearly 15 million credits just playing this mode over like the last week, and honestly, I would have been nearly 20 million credits if I had been using this booster here, which I have over 100 of, which for some reason I forgot about and didn't use like a muppet. I completely forgot about these like reserves. If I had been using this, I would have been easily sitting around 20 million credits. I'm not exaggerating that in the slightest. I'm an idiot for not using those, but next time I'll remember, and next time it's gonna be a good time to grind credits. I'll say that. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section below. Let me know what sort of like prestiges you guys have gotten to, because I don't feel like there are that many people going for the maximum prestiges, but I want to do it just so I can have like that tier 9 vehicle, because I'm curious. Like, people are speculating it'll be the Object 777, but part of me feels like Wargaming might do a bait and switch with that vehicle, because that thing's been in the game files for like 4 years now. So would they actually release it at this point, or what are they going to do with it? It's going to be an interesting thing to see. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.